Hey review family, keep it top. My name is Jay Morris, your review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be doing a Throwback Tuesday review for Frank Zappa's album, Apostrophe. This video isn't pre-recorded, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, get off my back, it makes it easier. So, Frank Zappa, Apostrophe. This is his 18th studio-length album, and you're probably wondering, why his 18th studio-length album? Well, it's because it's his best commercially performing album, as well as, in my personal opinion, and a lot of other people's personal opinion, his best album. And I will briefly go into some of the things about this album, but I feel like for the most part, you've either heard this if you're watching this review, or you're curious, and I highly suggest checking this album out because I can't really give a solid rank. I will be ranking this album, but it's hard to say because I don't want to go and say that Frank Zappa is a progenitor of so many genres, but he's pretty much a progenitor of so many genres. Like, would you have Weird Al if it wasn't for Frank Zappa? Probably not. Would you have a lot of modern hard rock and jazz fusion collaborations? Probably not. Would you have modern progressive rock? Probably not. Would people be as willing to go into these avant-garde type of approaches? Probably not. This album doesn't sound like it was made in 1974. The production was super cutting edge for the time, and Frank Zappa himself was the producer, and this album was both recorded in quadraphonic as well as stereo format, and the way it jumps from ear to ear at times really does remind me of modern production. This really does have standout vocals, this really does have interesting production, strange things with backup vocals, you have layering going on. Frank Zappa, God rest his soul, was so ahead of his time when it came to so many things that it makes me sad that he died as young as he did. I believe he died when he was like 54. This album is a comedy rock type of album with hard rock influences, progressive rock influences, and jazz rock influences. There's a lot of fusion going on, and Frank Zappa comes off as a madman on this album that I love. He is super humorous. I mean, great googly moogly. Can we talk about the fact that there is a lyric on this album where he literally just shouts, "Great googly moogly"? I mean, the track Nanook Rubs It sounds like he's a smug douchebag with so many fun vocals on this track, so much fun instrumentation, some almost kind of spoken word bits where he says some genuinely funny things. And this album has a very loose concept about like an Eskimo and like the bear hunter god and Inuit religion called Nanook, which you probably don't care about, but I look it up so you don't have to. And speaking of Nanook Rubs It, it has some really fun guitars, fuzzed out guitars on it. I just love this track so much. His vocals are hilarious. He is really good with pitch. For being a comedy album, he has some great pitch. He's going up and down and low and high, and he's doing these weird backup vocals. I mean, on the opener, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, you have vocals that are jumping from ear to ear, and like in between, you'll get like these do 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 do, and it's like this dude. It's just he is able to be goofy and fun and have a great time, but still make some pretty catchy music. Why is this catchy? It starts off with like this cold, wintry feel with like this wind passing through, and this whole album comes off as being very abstract, but in a good way. Frank Zappa is multi-talented on this album, writing very humorous lyrics, very fun moments, making some great riffs that are genuinely earwormy and catchy, some fun concepts that are just fun to play around with, and that can kind of be, they want to make you think, even though they're so stupid, they want to make you think. It's not that long of a length, it's about 32 minutes, and it has a lot of influences going in, and chances are, one of the bands or artists that you're really into were influenced by Frank Zappa, because he was super prolific and touched so many different genres. I really enjoy how diverse the vocals are on this album. When he goes into those higher notes, they're funny. I like it when he goes into that deep, kind of almost like jovial type of register, and sometimes when he comes off like this, like he's being very mischievous, like that smug douchebag type of voice that he does, like, Nanook, no. Like, I just love his voice when he does that. He sounds so condescending, but in like a jovial, fun type of way. This album was ahead of its time, to say the least, and it influenced so many genres, not just this album, but Frank Zappa in general, that I really felt like I needed to just tip the hat and review this, because this is actually an album that I listened to last year, and I really enjoyed it when I heard it then, but I didn't do a review because at the time I didn't have Throwback Tuesday, but that's the beauty of Throwback Tuesday. I can review albums like Apostrophe. So bottom line, is this album a 10 out of 10? Yeah, because of its influence, because of how many genres it really helped to revolutionize and bring up to the forefront. Without Frank Zappa, a lot of the ideas that have become common staples that if you hear in this music, you're going to be like, oh, I know things like that, and it may not seem that impressive, but if you go back in time to 1974, this wasn't that popular. He wasn't as big and as well respected as he is nowadays. Unfortunately, he's not around anymore. But this is a groundbreaking album. This is a really good album, and I highly suggest checking it out because it is funny, it is catchy, and it is really important to music. So, I guess for that, I have to give this album a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Apostrophe. Is that it? Is that a wrap? It's a wrap. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and smash that notification bell to be notified when I upload. I do this segment every single week on Tuesday, and I upload daily, or at least I try to. I will talk to you guys next time, but until then, my name is Jay Morris, Review Guy. What are your thoughts of Frank Zappa? Signing off, saying farewell.